Hello and welcome to today's video on movement. Now movement is key, and without it atoms wouldn't have a charge and energy in the universe as we know it simply wouldn't exist. Now in terms of our health and well-being and immunity, movement is essential. When we move we create a pumping effect just like when we breathe, which promotes blood flow around the body into various cells whilst promoting the lymphatic drainage, which carries toxins away from cells, organs and glands, which directly relates to our immunity. Movement also lubricates all the fascia and the muscles and the joints and the nervous system and keeps it all working and firing optimally. If we don't move enough, we'll begin to waste away and create dysfunction in the body, and if we move too much, we'll actually overdo it and put ourselves into a state of stress where we can gather a lot of illnesses and acquire a lot of injuries. I see both sides of the spectrum in my clinic, where I've got people who live a sedentary lifestyle who have created a lot of pain and dysfunction in the body due to it, and then I've got athletes coming in or members of the general public who are pushing themselves too much, thinking that's what they need to do, and they're creating injuries and a whole host of dysfunction there. Now in terms of how much exercise to get, we need to be getting between 30 and 60 minutes a day. Now don't be worried and think that you've got to follow the crowd and hit the gym hard or go and do a 10-mile sprint. You've just got to do some form of movement, as simple as just walking. Hippocrates says that walking is man's best medicine. So even just walking for 60 minutes can get the blood pumping and the lymph pumping and keep us in a vital, healthy state. Now with that being said, we need to exercise to vitalise. So aim to vitalise the body and not to drain it. We want to create a stimulus that we can grow from and repair from efficiently. So overdoing it will just deplete our immunity and health, and we'll be put into a chronic state of stress, which will demotivate us and push us away from any tasks, any goals that we're trying to achieve because we're overdoing it. So you can use working in and working out exercise hand in hand, where working in refers to stretching, mobilizing, yoga, tai chi, qigong exercises, as these still provide a stimulus to create a pumping effect on the body, and they actually load all the tissues as well, but they don't put us into a state of stress, which if we chronically do and don't recover from efficiently can cause a lot of dysfunction. Now this is an issue at the minute where a lot of people think it's no pain, no gain. That's furthest from the truth, and you're just going to cause yourself huge problems with your health, injuries and your immunity. So just be wise and exercise to vitalise. I'm going to make a video at the end showing an exercise that we use with our health and lifestyle clients, and I hope you can use it as well at home to really, you're going to love it. So I'll mention it when we get to it. Now we need to focus as well on primal movements. So we need to use the body as it's evolved and how our fascial network is designed to be used. So that's movement in all three planes of motion. So the frontal plane, sagittal plane and the transverse plane. If we're not moving, where we're bending, lunging, rotating, throwing, pulling, we create a lot of dysfunction within the body, as we might create a movement pattern just in the linear frontal plane, which will create a lot of dysfunction in the body that can alter our posture, and as we know that can affect our breathing, that causes a lot more other problems in the body. So just be wary of that and try and mix it up and don't create too much dysfunction within our training habits. In addition to this though, with all that being said, the best exercise you can do is the one that you're going to do regularly. So don't overthink it and think that you need loads of fancy equipment and loads of expensive gym memberships. Simply get out there, go for a walk. I mean, one thing I've been doing recently during quarantine is going down to my local fields, just picking up some rocks, stacking them and moving them, and it's just a real cheap, simple way to get an exercise in whilst connected with nature as well. So just keep it simple, find something that you love to do and stay motivated. Moving on, we have to address the point that if we're going to work hard, that's great, but we have to rest hard as well. So when we're working hard, really push yourselves. Don't sit on your phones and use that as an excuse to pass a workout. Push yourselves, but know that you have to rest hard in order to recover from that stimulus that you've just provided. Now, if we're not in tune with the other 5 foundational principles of health, our ability to recover from a strenuous exercise is decreased, which can put us into a state of stress and cause injuries, chronic fatigue syndromes, and suppress our immune system completely and increase our chance of picking any illnesses up. So make sure we're in tune with the other 5 principles of health before we start exercising really hard. And remember, if you can't improve your last workout by at least 1%, regress it and work in and vitalise the body. So they're my top tips, and I look forward to showing you that exercise at the end. But our next video is going to be on thinking, and I look forward to seeing you then.